Hey YouTube, and welcome to the first part of Project Proteus. Some of this, a lot of you regular modelers, painters, and Forgeworld resin addicts will already know, some of you won't. Basically, this series of videos I'm going to go through building the Forgeworld Land Raider Proteus from start to finish. I'm not saying this is the definitive tutorial, this is just me stumbling through it. Hopefully it will give you guys a bit of a hand for when the kit's out on general release. And if you've never worked with resin before, this is the first thing that you need before you even start building or painting. Toothbrush, nail brush because it's a bigger bit of resin, lots of fairy liquid, towel, bathtub. When they cast resin, obviously it's cast in a mould. To get that resin piece out of the mould, before it's even cast, the mould inside surface is covered in a very slippery kind of a soap. And all it does is it means that once it's cast, they can bang the mould, piece comes out without being all stuck and horrible. Problem is that mould soap stays on the bit of resin that you're trying to work with. As my friend Jamie will tell you, if you do not clean your resin properly, and if you do not seal it afterwards, when you try to paint it, you'll put a layer of paint on, which will come immediately back off again. And it's a living nightmare. So, on to washing resin. So this is what you want from your bath water. You want it green. You don't want it low water, so you do need to use an absolute boatload of fairy liquid or other sort of cleaning detergent. There's no advertising or anything here. It's just what I tend to have because it works. So absolutely loads, and depending on the size of model, you don't have to use the bathtub. That's just a little bit that I do because I'm working on bigger models, little individual ones, do it in the sink, less water. The water you want as warm as you can stand to put your hands in, because you are going to be spending a lot of time in there. What you don't want is so warm that you're going to put it in and scald yourself. Yes, I know that sounds like a lot of common sense, but let's face it, we spend hundreds of pounds on Forgeworld. We don't have common sense. Or at least I don't anyway. So, full of water, full of fairy liquid, and then you need bags full of resin parts. Whack them in. As many of the parts as your model contains, and leave them to soak. The hotter the water is, the easier the soak is going to come off. And the less scrubbing that you're going to have to do. So, it's all the parts of the Land Raider into there. Let's give them a minute or two to soak, and then give them a clean up. Back in a bit, guys. Okay, so the bits have been soaking for a couple of minutes. Then I've come back and I've started doing a few. And just to give you an idea, I know it's common sense, but like I said, we're modelers, we don't have a lot of it. Bigger bits of resin, just fish out one of the actual sides of the tank. Nail brush, because obviously something a bit bigger. And it is a case, literally, of just scrubbing into every little nook and cranny. Which is going to clean out all of that mould soap and make sure that your paint is going to stick to your model. Yep, I know that's going to make the camera shake a little bit as it tries to track and focus the movement. But that's what you do with a bigger piece, which I'll come back and finish later, with the nail brush. The reason that you also have the toothbrush, no, this is not my toothbrush, this is the one that I use purely for modelling. But having a toothbrush means that when you pick out smaller bits and pieces, you can actually get around them a lot easier. Get into all the little nooks, all the crannies, all the back areas. Which brings me to another point. Before someone says it in the comment box, yes, I am cleaning them with the mould runs on. No, I am not going to have to clean them again when I take them off, because there's hardly going to be any mould soap inside the actual resin where I cut it and clean it there. But doing it with the mould runs on, for me, it's the way that I prefer to do it, because it means that on a tiny little piece like this, I've got something to hold when I'm working on it. Anyway, that is basically how to clean resin. Once you're done with all the parts, what you need to do, or as you've done each one, quick swing around on the tripod there. Have a towel set up pretty much behind you, and as you're cleaning each one, pop your parts on there. When it's all done, either pop another towel on the top, give it a few minutes to dry, and make sure no one walks in and stands on everything, or give everything a once over with a paper towel and pop it away, or go and start building. So this is something you have to do with every Forgeworld model. Doesn't matter whether it's a tank, Krieg infantry, Tyranids, even upgrade kits. Obviously the upgrade kit you don't have to clean the plastic part, but that is the ins and outs of modelling, starting on working with resin. So cleaning, very important, otherwise your paint's not going to stick and they're just going to be a pig to work with. Thanks for watching, guys. Once I've got everything all cleaned up, I'm going to start assembling the main hull little bit by little bit, and hopefully you guys watch this series and like what you see, subscribe, comment, pass it on. Pretty obvious video this one, like I said, guys, for those of you that work with resin quite a bit, but I remember what it was like with my first resin model. As much as I loved it, I was absolutely terrified of working with it and ruining it because of how much it cost. So I was lucky enough to have someone tell me, wash it, seal it, do all of this, and it saved me a lot of heartache, unlike Jamie. Incidentally, the model that he was working on that wasn't washed and primed properly was a Titan. So you can imagine how peeved he was when it didn't have any paint sticking to it. Catch you later, guys. Play safe. Chat to you in a bit. Bye.